Again, you have to realize you are a working athlete.
Yeah.
You are not a full-time athlete. So
Right.
you need to focus on your recovery. Yeah, we see, I know people talk about, hey, Mo Farah ran this, Lucy Hale is doing this, okay, we should do that. Let's copy that workout. Let's start doing that. But do you see what is going in the background?
Yeah.
How athletes are recovering?
Yeah.
How much they are eating? How much focus is there on recovery than just training? It's just not about copying a training plan and doing it. I feel that more than going harder or doing things more, with Josh all the time, it's a consistency that leads to changes.
Right.
Even whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to do good things, whether you want to achieve or whether you want to get a PR, even if you want to lose weight, don't have to do a fat diet. A simple meal, a clean meal followed every day is going to give you the similar. Because I wanted a guy and I to understand that I have been so active throughout my life, especially for the past 9 years, that if I'll just unplug everything, I'll go mad.
Right.
Physically, my body will give up. Mentally and physically, both I'll give up. And she said, you should not stop.
Right.
You have been doing this for a long time. But at the same time, you need to listen to your body.
Right.
You need to cut down your runs. You cannot be the same person. You cannot do anything by willpower anymore.
Yeah.
That word that has stuck with me till date. So there are times when I don't feel like running, I don't go.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Ankita Gaur and I'm a runner, also a marathoner, and been running for almost 9 years now, little more than 9 years. And I'm here with Venki at Working Athletes Podcast, and I wanted to share my journey with you guys.
I am Baiki Venki and this is the Working Athlete Podcast. Here, I will talk to working athletes from all walks of life and experts from various sports to provide you with inspiration, training tips, time management, and lifestyle advice. Today, I'm talking to Ankita Gaur, a runner. She's currently 8 months pregnant and she's showing no signs of slowing down. And I want to take you guys through her journey, her learnings over the years, and share it all with you guys. So, welcome to the Working Athlete Podcast,
Thank you.
Ankita.
My pleasure.
You said you started running 9 years
ago. Yeah.
So, when was this? 2012?
11 actually.
11.
So I've been always into sports. My parents have always encouraged. We're just two sisters, and we were always encouraged to take up sports. Dad was especially the university cricket captain in Allahabad University. So for us, sports was always somewhere or the other. We used to go like hiking and trekking as well. So it was always part of. It has been always part of our life. But then I moved to college. And I suffered an accident and I gained a lot of weight. So that was way back in 2007. And I struggled with that weight for almost 2 to 3 years. And I didn't like it because I've always led an active lifestyle. And even when I had gone up to 80 kgs, I was still swimming and trekking and I used to enjoy it. Then I met my then friend and now husband Ratan, who introduced me basically to running, and I really wanted to lose weight because I was traveling a lot. I was in the States for some time, and I just wanted to take up something easy which can adjust to my lifestyle, and that's how I discovered running. Yeah.
So 2007, you said you had an accident.
Yeah.
Or is automobile?
Sort of. I was biking, cycling. I love mountain biking. And it was not a mountain biker, but I was cycling. And I was hit by something on a vehicle. And I was on bed rest, and I think it was a very bad phase when I just picked up eating and it just went out of hand. And in 3 months, I went from 54 kgs to 80 kgs, 3 to 4 months. And that was like massive blow for me. And obviously my self-esteem suffered a lot and I lost all my confidence. And then I stopped. So if you ask me, can you show us a picture? from 2006 or till 2011, trust me, I have zero pictures because I was so conscious of myself, and I was not liking the way I was. And I got a good job and everything was nice, and I was traveling a lot. 2008, I passed out, and I was traveling, and everything was nice, but I just was not happy.
Okay.
Internally, it was very a bit one of my worst phases.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, even I was 92 kilos at
Wow.
one time, and yeah, and if you ask me, I have very, very little pictures because I can understand the kind of low self-esteem we had, and I have a couple of pictures because I was married and I was forced to kind of take pictures with wife a little bit, and so I have those a couple of pictures, and it's really difficult to advert the face. It's we don't want to be seen.
Yeah, I was going through a lot of body, like I was body shamed. It was a lot of, because I used to swim. I've been in school. I was a very good swimmer, and so I was in Noida at that time, in Delhi NCR, and I took up swimming there. So I still remember being in 80 kgs, and I was doing laps like Ratan and I. That's how we met actually, in the swimming pool, not basically in college, and that's how I started swimming. And you're doing 80 laps, and I used to have the stamina, maybe because it was the muscle memory or whatever. Then I took up running. I ran. Ratan trained me, and within I think 3 months of first picking up running, and I ran my ADHM 2011, and I did a sub 2. So yeah.
Within 3 months.
3 to 4 months, yes. I did not run too much.
Okay.
But yeah, I think because I was also, and I had lost weight by the time. I was losing weight, and I had come down to 60 kgs.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So talking of Ratan and meeting him at the pool. So how was the initial journey like? So how did this thought of running come into the picture? You guys were swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was he a runner?
He has been a runner throughout his college.
Okay.
But not really, like he was just running for the fun. So he has done half marathons before that.
Okay.
And while we were that courtship was going on, I knew he was a runner. And one of the things that I really liked about him, because he's a very outdoorsy person, and he gives me that space as well. Right. And that's the reason I can do so many things at this stage as well.
Yeah.
So somewhere I think blame the Delhi winters, So that happened, and I was like, shit, I'm in a good shape. I don't want to lose it out. So we used to go and run in the Noida Stadium at that time, and that's when I was just doing 2 to 3 kilometers, and then I started losing weight as well.
Yeah.
Then I said I want to do a half marathon. ADHM was coming, and then he said, okay, let me train you. And yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So what sort of training was going on for that period? Like because losing weight is just not about exercise, right? You might be taking care of the diet as well. What sort of precautions were you taking in terms of your diet, and what sort of training was happening during your first ADHM?
So I honestly, we did not have any training plans at that time, or no coaches in sight. Ratan just downloaded the Halligden program, and since I was a novice runner, we were just focusing on doing the distance, because that is actually the ideal way to go forward. Because it was just 3 months, and we had we didn't know any concept of gel or hydration also at that time. So during my first ADHM or first half marathon, I think I just took one sip of water and I ran, which is foolishness. Please don't do that now. But of course, but I feel that when I was losing weight, and maybe I was in states somewhere, I figured that the diet plays a very, very critical role. And I didn't lose my weight here going to the Indian gyms. I'll be very, very honest. The kind of workouts I was doing, I bought a plan from beachbody.com. And I started following that. I'll be very honest about it, because I think Beachbody at that time was way ahead what in 2010 or 2011 when we see, and we are seeing that kind of stuff right now in India. So somewhere that helped, and I actually, I remember me and Ratan, we sat down, used his laptop, and meticulously calculated every calorie intake because I was feeling good about losing weight and I wanted to do it.
Right.
So even though I was traveling and all, I said, no, I think I can do it and let's do it. So I basically, what I figured that a home cooked meal plays a very critical role. And whether you want to be a successful athlete or whether you want to recover from an injury or whether you want to lose weight, your diet plays a very, very important role.
Correct.
And somewhere I feel that that's how my ADHM was also very good because my diet was really good at that time. So I didn't feel burnt out or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were calculating the calories,
I did.
and you got a workout plan from beachbody.com.
Yeah. No, I did not get a plan. Basically, I'll not lie. I found a torrent and I downloaded the torrent because obviously they did not have you didn't have access to Beachbody membership or anything if you're in India. You can only access that if you're a US citizen or you have a US card. Yeah, so you can't do that. So I found the torrent.
Okay.
I found the torrent and I used that.
Nice.
So I'm being very honest.
Yes, of course. So you were following that. You were calorie conscious and looking at what you were eating and predominantly home cooked
meals. Yes.
And then you also were slowly increasing the distance for running.
Yes.
You had a ADHM as a target. Started running.
Yeah.
So why ADHM at that point of time? Like for someone who hasn't run
for a long time. I feel that I started running faster than Ratan. We were just doing like easy runs at that time. And I figured like I have better stamina.
Okay.
And Ratan has already done an ADHM. And I'm running faster than him. And I think I can do better. Okay. So, and that was, and also then, and I had seen Ratan race in ADHM a year before in 2010. Yeah. So somewhere that also motivated me. I said, hey, I'm going to sign up and I'm going to do it. So yes, and I think Ratan did 204 in that ADHM or 202 and I did 157. So that was like, yay.
Nice. So you won better than
exactly.
your coach at that time.
Yeah.
Awesome. So by the time you finished ADHM with the sub 2, which is very credible. Creditable for a first one. What was your weight by that time?
60, I think so. Okay. Yeah, 60, 61. And also because I had, I'll tell you, I don't believe in the number on the weighing scale because I feel I have good muscular strength.
Right.
And right now also, and at that time, even if you look at, you'll say I'm 60, I never looked 60.
Okay. Because muscle mass, and then you were also in sports right through your childhood and stuff, so that also plays a
that was like I had calves,
right.
I still have calves.
yes.
So yeah,
great. So that all you had the base of base fitness over the years.
I think so. But
that would have also contributed.
I feel that now, like when I look back and I feel that, okay, hey, my dad used to take me for a walk for like at least 5 kilometers when I was during our, June vacations. And I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
We used to walk and we used to keep on chatting.
Right.
And then he'll get me those sugary cigarettes used to come from the
shop. Yeah.
I'll finish one like the entire walk and he'll just buy me and like, okay, I'll just give you one. And that's how my June vacations used to be.
Right.
So and then he'll say, hey, let's jog I want you to jog. Don't run fast. And he used to tell me, don't run fast. You're running too fast.
Yeah.
And like even for like 100, 200 meters. But we've always been into sports, both me and my sister.
Nice.
Yeah, I think somewhere that has helped definitely.
Right. So 2011 was your first ADH. Right. So from then, how did the running progress?
So from there, running took a dip because I was happy and I had lost weight. I'm going to be very honest.
Right.
My traveling increased substantially.
Okay.
And Then I got married in 2013. And Ratan moved to Bangalore, but I was still traveling a lot. And then 2013, I got married. And that's when, after marriage, I said, hey, now I'm settling down here and I don't want to travel because I've been traveling a lot. That's when I took running seriously. And I, till 6 months, I was running on my own. And I reached out to Bobby on the Bangalore running community. Bobby, do you know anyone who is running in Indranagar? Because I would love to get some company. And he said, there's nobody in Indranagar as such. I asked him, can I start the Runners Run Club? He said, yeah, go ahead. And he was very encouraging at that time. We went ahead with that. And then I felt that I'm doing really good. So after my first race, luckily I won a podium in one of the monsoon marathon where Milkha Singh came. And I said, I really want to start training. And I joined Pacemaker for some time. And then due to my other commitments, I had to take a step back and start training on my own. But that was there for 2 years with Pacemakers.
So training with Pacemakers was from what,
2014 till January 2016.
Okay.
Or rather, because I had suffered an injury, so I stopped in 2015 itself. I think it was almost for 2 years.
Right.
With that.
Right. Yeah. So you mentioned injury, right? So that is something that is, all of us go through at one point of time or not.
Absolutely.
Other. So how did you kind of get through that? What injury was that, and how did you deal with that?
I feel that as amateur athletes, all right, we learn how to deal with injuries. The first phase is denial.
All right.
We don't want to just, and second phase is okay, it's there, but I can still push through. And let's ignore it, it'll go on. And third phase is when you really know that, okay, the shit has hit the ceiling and now we need to stop and look at that. That happened in November of 2015 when my SI joint suffered badly to a point I could not even sit properly. And I tried everybody in Bangalore and it wasn't working out. And luckily for me, Yash Pandey had just come to Bangalore. And it was Bobby who said, hey, Yash is there and let's introduce him to the community, and do you want to go and show your back to him? And I'm like, yes. And then Yash told me, hey, your lower back is really gone bad, and you have to be really careful from now onwards because this is going to be a recurrent thing for you. So that's when that's where I actually learned that sometimes injuries can get you, and you have to you be very mindful about them, not to let them become chronic. Mine become chronic that time. Mine was because I suffered this injury in the month of, I think, February or March, and I was just delaying it. I just didn't want to stop running. Didn't want to address it either. It was something we call it I don't want anybody to see my weakness. Kind of thing. And I went on racing, and I went on every race. We were getting podiums, and there was this high as well. And you don't want others to see you. It's weakness, but basically it's stupidity.
Right.
It's not weakness, it's stupidity. If you're not injuring and not letting your body, allowing your body to heal when it's required. Otherwise, you can't perform. It's as simple as that. The races come and go. I realized that. I realized that. So that's what. So Yash Pandey at that time told me that, okay, hey, you need to step back. He put me off running for a month, and I'm like, okay. And my back started recovering. Then again, ADHM I ran. Then I ran the TMM in 2016.
So just taking a step back and talking about this injury and taking a step back and talking of not wanting to show our weakness. That is a very, very good point, right? For someone who is very active on social media. For someone which you are, right, and which I am. This is a very, very pertinent issue. Right? So you want to, you are putting yourself out there.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You are putting yourself out there. You're very vulnerable in that sense, and you are doing something. You are doing things that say half marathon at in certain time, or you're training at certain paces, right? And suddenly, people are looking at those,
Exactly.
and you are conscious of that.
Yes.
So, how do you deal with that?
So people can be some people are very supportive.
Right.
People can be really rude,
Right.
and can be very ruthless as well.
Yeah.
I remember this incident, and this is coming from a very known runner in Bangalore. I don't want to get into the names, but this is something when I suffered a massive injury. I had no clue I was injured. I had a adductor in a thigh, severe injury, and I went to New York Marathon, and I was prepared to crack a 3:15. But injuries can happen sometimes. Yeah. So, because I was traveling a lot during my prep, and somewhere I feel that my strength training took a hit. So when I was speaking somewhere, I feel that the amount of focus I should have given to my strength and mobility routine, that didn't happen. Right. And somewhere when I was going into the race, 3 days before I was about to fly for New York, I called Soumya out. Right. He's my friend for a long time, a very good physiotherapist. I called him up and said, Soumya, something is wrong. I can feel the tinge in my inner thigh, adductor, something is wrong. And Thomas said, Ankita, you just go now, because even he can't do anything. And we had Diwali at that time. Right. And the clinic was shut. Yeah. And I remember me and Anil Mahobia, another friend of mine with whom I've been training and actually trained, race or paced for my first races, from my first marathon till now. Yeah. And we were doing 4:40 paces, and we were talking. Right. That's how well prepared I was. Yeah. So I went into the race, and I suffered an injury in the adductor so bad that I couldn't even hit one split of 5. Right. When I came back, and I shared that story on social media. Yeah. Somebody wrote to me and somebody said, you are trying to glorify injury. What I was trying to do is, I'm not glorifying injury. I'm just telling you that, hey, you are injured. It's okay. Yeah. Sometimes you get disappointed. Right. And there are people who are like, okay, thank you for sharing us so that we are mindful about it. We don't make the same mistake. So you have all kinds of people. Right. All kinds of people. Yeah. Like during this pregnancy journey, when I get nasty messages. Right. But for every one nasty messages, I have got 10 women supporting messages as well. Yes. So I think you need to know something. Earlier, I didn't know how to balance my social media, but I think I've come to learn that. Right. So yeah, you kind of have to be mindful that okay, you and kind of find a way to ignore certain stuff, things, certain people, and then take what is valuable, and then I think also a set of good friends help you somewhere, because obviously these things get to you. I'm not, because I can still remember that incident, because I just come and I was struggling to walk also. Couldn't even walk after my New York marathon for like almost a month. Right. So and when somebody says that to you, it hits you, right? Because you're not trying to do that. Right. But I think somewhere I feel that hanging or having those, we always read, have positivity around you. Yeah. There's a positive set of people who can say, hey, no, you're gonna make a good comeback. Yeah. That matters a lot. And then you kind of let go of this, hey, one person, that's not. Yeah.
I mean, it's also different perspectives.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. And you got to take what matters to you and keep learning. Absolutely. As long as you are honest with yourself and honest out there.
That is very critical. So you will not see me endorsing much of stuff. It's just not, it's like I have some 21 followers, but a lot of people reach out to me for endorsing stuff. Right. I stopped doing that long back, because if I'm not using your product, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. It's like something which I'm very consciously doing it. Yeah. So I get a lot of DMs. Can you please do a barter system for me? Yeah. Or can you please do this Ayurvedic product for me? Yeah. Or I will pay you this much. Yeah. I'm not doing it. Right. I stopped doing it like a year ago. I can't. Yeah. Now my conscience doesn't allow.
Yes. Yeah, that is very important, right? What at the end of the day, you have to be honest with yourself.
Yes.
And be able to talk well to yourself. Right. That is a good point. And yes, that point about you know, when you are out there in public, you got to be careful of what you're projecting, and also be mindful of what you are saying and what you are letting in, right? Yes. What you are putting out there, and also what you are letting in. Yeah. Right? I also feel that you need to have a lot of faith in yourself. Yeah. Because that's what I do. I feel that, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm not trying to do this. I'm trying to be very honest with my journey. I don't want to always just write good things about myself, because that's not an athlete's journey. Yeah. We go through peaks and valleys. Yeah. Right? There is a peak and definitely there's going to be a valley. Absolutely. So, and it doesn't make sense if I'm lying about it. Right. Okay, hey, no, I just won this, I ran this. It doesn't happen like that. Yeah. So somewhere you have to have faith in yourself. You have to trust yourself that, okay, what you were doing is correct. Correct. That others can't say what they want to. Absolutely. So, talking of the injuries and the struggles, right? So, what are the things that you do, say, once you realize that I'm injured? Right? What are the things that you do to kind of get out of an injury? So, what is your current support system like? Okay, I'll be very honest. Now, because I've matured over the years compared to 2015 or 2016 rather, I address injury the moment I see signs of it. Number one. Yeah. If I, let's say, very, very common thing, rice. Right. Rest, eyes compression. If that doesn't, so, and that is what I tell my athletes as well, people who I coach, that, okay, take a step back. All right. If it's just a niggle foam roll, see couple of days it's working out or not. If it's not, take a step back. Okay, because you don't want to get caught in that hamster wheel of, okay, immediately recovering, then not letting the body heal, and then again going back to injury, then again training, then again going back to injury. That's called hamster wheel. Right. So, and I see so many athletes stuck in this wheel. Yeah. So and this is something which I learned from my coach. Right. It's not something that I got a gyan while meditating. No, it didn't happen. So because it was happening with me in 2018. Yeah. So what I realized that if you see any sign of, niggles are going to be part of an athlete's journey. Again, injuries are going to be part of athlete's journey because our bodies are like machine. You cannot even point out a single athlete, even elites, they also get injured. Right. But how you address it, it depends upon you. Either you can let it blow in your face, or either you can take a step back, let it heal, visit the right support system, maybe your physiotherapist or your sports doc, okay, or tell your coach. And this is so important. Sometimes I feel that coaches need to realize that if there is an injury, let the body heal. Yeah. Because many I'm afraid many coaches fail to understand that. Yeah. And they keep, okay, it's brave. It's all about, it's all in the mind. Yeah. It's not in the mind. Yeah. Of course it is in the mind, but it's in the mind when you're racing there. Correct. It's a niggle. We push through niggle. It's fine. There's a pain. There's a difference between your training pain, and there's a difference between a pain which is through an injury because of an injury. Yeah. Right. So I felt that somewhere you need to take a step back, let that injury heal. Don't let it become so big, a full-blown injury, that you need to sit out for like 2 to 3 months. I've seen people, good athletes, sitting out of the runs or even cycling for like 2 months or so. Yeah, that is a very good point. So especially with it is important to kind of identify when it is at a very initial stage. Exactly. Right? And it can be like, okay, it is very tricky. Because as a coach, you wouldn't know what exactly the athlete is feeling. Yes. Right. So the body is in his or her body. The pain. Yeah. And you wouldn't know unless there is that constant communication and that clarity of that dialogue. And then you have to identify that, and if it is related to injury, you got to give it back. I think the trust built over the years, and I'll give you my example. Like how I said that, hey, I don't want anybody to see my weakness. Yeah. So every time I used to get injured, or like not even injuries, there's this
like a title which is not going for a week or a then it is something that you need to pay attention to.
Correct.
If something is bothering you for a week, it's something you need to pay attention to. Maybe you need to take a rest,
right?
Or just a couple of days rest doesn't detrain you, honestly speaking. So I never used to tell my coach. I just keep on training till the time it's a full blown, because again, I don't want my coach to think I'm weak.
Right.
So that thing is there because we're humans,
yes.
right? And that happens.
Yes.
And your coach is you have certain expectations from yourself. Sometimes you think the coaches also have certain expectations from you, right? So that happens, and then that's when I started communicating with my coach a lot more about my injuries or how I'm feeling this tightness. She'll tell me, okay, let's do a little easy tomorrow, see how you feel, and do the foam rolling. If you tell your coach this is happening, the coach is definitely going to come and help you.
Correct.
So I tell all my athletes as well, hey, you need to keep this communication very clear. If you're feeling any tightness, sometimes I tell them, hey, it could be muscle soreness as well, because the coaches, they know it, right? So that kind of really is very important as well if you are under a coach.
And also, you have to understand when it is when it needs attention of a physiotherapist or a doctor. Right? So you can't deal with it. Certain injuries on your own.
Yes.
Just the rice wouldn't help.
The rice wouldn't help.
So you got to kind of figure that out, because coaches usually are very experienced and have gone through many.
True. I was about to say that. Yes.
Have gone through all those injuries and stuff themselves, or have seen with others that they coach. They will be able to help you with that dialogue.
Absolutely.
They'll be able to help you identify when it is the right time to just rice would suffice, or when you need
to see a physiotherapist. Yeah. Like for me, I like whenever someone says I'm having some pain. Okay, so how to judge the pain? I'm on over here. The runner might be in Mumbai or Surat somewhere training with me. I always ask them this question: how much is your pain on a scale of 1 to 10?
Correct.
So that gives me an idea whether it's a full-blown injury or it really needs immediate attention, or that's how it is.
Awesome. Yes. Yeah, definitely that kind of communication is very important. Now, talking of coaching people, right? So when did you start?
So I've been mentoring people since I opened Indiranagar Runners. Earlier, it was just, I think I just wanted friends to run along because Ratan and I were like sick of each other's space, I think. And he used to be behind and I used to be in the front, and I'm like, okay, now I need company. So I think somewhere we started mentoring runners from there. But 2015 is actually the mentorship started, because I was the group grew. Then I got ambassadorship or semi-sponsorship from Adidas, and then I started my run club, that Indiranagar and Adidas, that Adidas running club. So I've been mentoring from there, but the full-fledged coaching didn't happen until I ran 3 full marathons. I wanted to be, and I coached myself for 2 races. Then I realized 2 to 3 races I coached myself, and my own mistakes. Like I've done everything. Ask me a diet to get the lean body muscle, lean runner's body. Ask me, I've done. So then I read, hey, and then people reached out to me actually. Then it was like, can you please coach us? So when I started coaching people and I, saw good significant results from them, that's when I said, okay, hey, let's start coaching people.
Okay. This is in
2017, 18. 18 basically. 18.
Right. Excellent. So, what are the some of the challenges that you see with new runners, and how do you kind of help them?
Okay, new runners. I think the biggest challenge, and I don't blame them. We are all enthusiastic people. Is to wanting to do too much too soon.
Yeah.
too much too soon.
All of us have been there.
Everybody, all of us have been there.
Yeah.
I've been also there, but I don't think I was there.
Yeah,
maybe I was there. Yeah, 2011 I did half marathon. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
But I think yes, I think that's my biggest challenge. Sometimes I fear for the athletes, especially because when I train them, it's my responsibility as a coach to hold them back as well.
Yeah.
And I know there are people who would do 10K and now I want to sign up for a full marathon. Then it's my job to show them the reality. Hey, the real picture. Yeah, this is how things are going to be, and I really want you to do a strong. And that's how I communicate with them. That I want you to finish strong, irrespective of the distance. You should feel good once you finish the race. That's how I talk to them, and I feel that is one of the biggest challenges. Second, I feel also generally, I feel when an athlete does not communicate too much with the coach, showing them what is exactly happening, whether you are burning out. Whether you are getting overtrained, whether you're suffering with an injury or a pain like we discussed right now, that also is sometimes doesn't allow us to help the athlete the way we would like to do. And I see a lot of athletes have potential, with even those who are training with me, but the communication sometimes is it can be a barrier, and consistency again. And but then once they come back and they say, "Hey, I want to do this," so somewhere that trying to explain them, that is one of the biggest challenges I feel as a coach.
Yeah, consistency is so critical.
So critical.
Yeah.
So critical.
Right, consistency, and then also some people might be very consistent, and then they are not communicating, and they go so far that they are like overtrained. That is also
another thing. So we have also you coach, so you know it. It's all sorts of things.
Yes.
And I learned this more when I started training with my coach, because somewhere I was also making these mistakes before. I would do a pace that she'll give. I'll do much faster than that. Yeah. And she'll come back to me like, why are you doing this? What's the need? Like, are you going to race us at this pace, especially when we are training for so somewhere you are actually overtrained before the race. So you're a good athlete, but you're so overtrained that once the D-Day arrives, you're actually gone, already over. Your performance suffers. Somewhere that is also very critical.
That is the great point about runners and riders going over the pace.
Over the pace.
That you got to stick to the zones that you are
exactly,
so that you can progress over time. It's not just going to end this week, right?
Yeah. So that's what I think that somewhere they feel, hey, it's one workout.
Right.
What I feel that, because obviously the experience and the amount of racing and all that plays a very critical role. Again, failures teach you a lot. Failures teach you big lessons. So I have also learned my lessons of failures. So I feel that they feel that this is one workout. They don't realize there's a series of workouts that's going to lead up to a race. So they feel, hey, I'm going to do today. When I asked them, why did you go? I felt easy. I know, of course, the point is for you to feel good and not that tough. Because again, like you said, consistency is a big critical thing here. Because I want you to be able to run tomorrow as well. That's where you become a good athlete, or maybe ride tomorrow as well. No, this is just not one day's ride, right? So
Great point. So coming to now, talking of consistency, right? You are pregnant now, and you continue doing strength training, running, and everything. Basically, continuing your fitness journey, although you are pregnant. But we see so many women who just stop. Right? So, what kind of made you not take that route and continue on your fitness journey? What are the things that you learned in this journey?
Okay. All right. I'll tell you, I'll be very honest about this. And now, because I started speaking about this, I got to know more about it. I'm not the first woman runner in India who's pregnant. There have been women runners who've done it before. They've never shared it because maybe social media was not there at that time, and maybe they didn't want any negativity or society would judge them because let's be very honest. And but these women have been there, but they're very couple of very handful of these runners, maybe 4 to 5 runners, 6 runners at the max. Okay, and they've been women runners who've been doing this. Like I said, I did not want to hide anything from social media because I'm already been there. I'm a captain for Adidas Runners Bangalore for so many years. I can't be off social media. But at the same time, I don't want to fake it. So, and somewhere when I first shared that I've been doing this, I got such a massive response. And women just said, we want more women like you to come out and talk about it. That was a big encouragement for me as well. And I had seen women abroad because once you start doing these marathons, and because I'm also part of Adidas Runners global team, or I travel globally to meet them, you get exposure. You see what athletes outside are doing. Amateur. I'm talking about amateur athletes. So you see that's a very safe and common thing. I reached out to my coach. My coach gave me running in my first trimester. I had run a speed project virtually. So I wasn't aware that I was expecting at that time. I got to know a week after I was expecting. So we were very scared because speed project was a 31-hour interval race, you can say, where an athlete is like doing intervals and resting, doing intervals and resting. And I was part of a global team. We had runners from Adidas, from Berlin, from Hong Kong, from Tel Aviv, all these cities. So I was scared. So then at that time, you have to be mindful as well, because this was something Ratan and I've been looking forward to for past, not a year, but let's say some 6 months. So I immediately, Swami said, hey, take a step back. You need to unplug everything right now because your body needs to support this and your body needs to heal from inside because it's been a brutal race. So nothing for I think till 8 weeks, I was just doing very slow cycling. But I was very active because again, I spoke to, and that's when the search for the right gynac started. Because I wanted a gynac to understand that I have been so active throughout my life, especially for the past 9 years, that if I'll just unplug everything, I'll go mad. Physically, my body will go, mentally and physically, both I'll give up. So I feel that most of the gynacs till date think that even climbing stairs is crazy because that's the kind of message I get on my Instagram. That my gynac said you can't even climb stairs, which is very quite baffling to me because if you look back to our grannies, there were no elevators. They used to climb stairs. That's why, and most of them had normal deliveries. And if you go to any person in mountain, pregnant or not, they're climbing the hills. They're climbing. So suddenly, if you have been and you go to cities like Amsterdam or Paris, you will hardly find elevators there. You have to climb stairs. There's no other option, right? So I am and then I spoke to, luckily, after 2 to 3 research and, going visiting doctor, I finally found a doctor. And she said, you should not stop. You have been doing this for a long time. But at the same time, you need to listen to your body. You need to cut down your runs. You cannot be the same person. You cannot do anything by willpower anymore. That word that has stuck with me till date. So there are times that I don't feel like running, I don't go. Like day before yesterday, I Ratan, I'm not feeling good, I'm feeling tired. I ran 2 kilometers, then I walked 4, it was total 6.
That is very important to listen to your body, right?
Very important right now because you are responsible for a life. And nothing, and it's not about, if I want to show off on social media, I can do tons of stuff. But that's very important to understand that it's not, you cannot go by what people are doing on social media. People ping me, women ping me, can I start running? And I ask them, have you been a runner? They said, no. I said, then you can't. Don't do that. Don't try anything new right now. If you've been walking is an excellent exercise. And I recently discovered walking during my pregnancy. I used to hate walking. I enjoy running, but I hate walking. I don't know for what reason. So I walk my dog. And I started enjoying walking, and somewhere my endurance is still maintained. Like if I don't run 10 kilometers for like 2 weeks, but if I'm walking 8 kilometers, I can easily do a 10, come back and do 10. So I feel that's such an excellent exercise.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. If you are, if it is, I guess, fine to do what you have been doing to a certain extent, listening to your body and all that, and not start something new.
Don't start something new.
And because you see, in big cities, outside, people carry a, like it is normal. And the other extreme, in even villages, people, until the day of delivery, they are carrying on like normal business, right? They carry water and all that stuff.
Exactly. Thank you for saying that, because I got this message that why are you lifting weight, and I'm like, you're not supposed to lift heavy, and I'm like, I'm not lifting heavy. What I used to lift, that whatever I used to run or whatever I used to lift, I'm cut down to 80% now. But you shouldn't be shocked about this, because in my opinion, and in what I've heard stories from my mother or my grandmothers, and I've seen in villages, women walk kilometers to kilometers for water. They'll bring that water on their head and again walk back. Like 5 kilometers is easy, nothing for them. Trust me. And they do it, and they'll not even realize that they're going into labor and then deliver the baby.
Right. So I mean, I've seen people carrying big pots on the head, and
the baby in the hand.
Baby in the hand and baby in the tummy, and keep going. So it's because that is something that they are used to, all their life.
Exactly.
It's nothing new for them. But I guess over a period of time, with all the kind of weird diets that we tend to do, and sedentary lives, and the hormonal, things are not intact anymore for a lot of women right now, and that's where all this.
I think somewhere we stopped moving. Somewhere we stopped moving.
Right.
And we just, started eating too much. Because that's when this happens. And I feel that there's never too late. But be very mindful of what you're doing during your pregnancy. Walking, I feel, if you're not active, start walking. Never been active, don't even have to do yoga. I'm not asking you to do some pelvic floor exercises, but start walking. It is very healthy for you and your baby. It is so healthy. So I'll tell you that I did not change my diet much during my pregnancy. People, and this concept wherein you have to eat for two is so wrong. It is very wrong. You are not, you have to be mindful of what you're eating more than the calorie intake. Look at the quality of the calories that you're having. Okay, that's one. Secondly, I feel you need to start thinking about the food that you're eating in terms of maybe a higher calories only after 5 months. Till 5 months, you can just eat what you're eating. You don't have to worry too much about the weight, but just be focused on a more rich, more nutritious, nutritionally rich food. That's what you should be focusing on.
That's a great point. And so who are the people kind of, so your gynec and your physio and your coach. So these are the kind
You're
of
forgetting
people.
My husband.
Of course, your first coach and husband.
Yes.
So he I mean, when it comes to all the things that we do, we can't do anything without the support of our spouses, right? So in my case, I can't do anything without the support of my
wife,
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a given, I guess.
That's a given, that's given. That's very important, and I feel that honestly, and I'm being very honest about this, because I'm in a city like Bangalore, and I have access to good people, good team. Soumya's team, Hari is there to coach me, train me right now. And then I have a good coach in US. And I have my husband there who's aware, who keeps reading. I have a friend like Anil who's there to support me. And I have a brand like Adidas who, when they found out I'm pregnant, they didn't say anything. I'm still continuing. I just did a video yesterday for them, and they were super encouraging. They wanted me to be part of it. So that is something I feel that I'm being very blessed to have such a great support system. Not everybody has such a great support system, and I know women from smaller cities do struggle because I get a lot of messages and the struggle is real. There's nobody to tell them what to do, and the old school thoughts are still there. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, this is a good thing that you are spreading that message in living whatever you are living, right? That's a good thing. And now coming to, let's talk a little bit about what is your typical day like? How do you structure your day?
I live by the clock. I'm not going to lie about it. Otherwise, I can't manage it.
Right.
Because I am handling so many things.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not easy. Sometimes I do burn out and I take a step back. I'm part of a run club. I have my own coaching going on. I have my own work at Avery. And I have home as well. And I love spending time with my husband. So somewhere I need, and I like that discipline because now it's something that has again been inculcated, in me from since childhood because of my dad, very disciplined guy. And so I feel that somewhere that I feel that more than going harder or doing things more, with Josh all the time, it's a consistency that leads to changes. Even whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to do good things, whether you want to achieve or whether you want to get a PR, even if you want to lose weight, don't have to do a fat diet. A simple meal, a clean meal followed every day is going to give you similar benefits. So I feel that is something, and I get pissed. I'm very, very hyper person. I'm not going to lie. I'm very hyper, but somewhere I don't like this indiscipline. So I do, and if I don't manage my time, I feel that I'll not be able to do so many things. So I do I wake up at 5. Till now I am waking up at 5, either whether I'm going for a run or not. I'll walk my dog at 5:30. So that 6 o'clock I'm free. 6 onwards, whether I have to do my workout, whether I have to go to gym or any session, that's there. Then I have my work hours till 4 o'clock. Then again 4 o'clock onwards. 4 o'clock onwards again. My dinner has to be ready by 7, so I can finish by 7:30. And then I need sleep. I feel for an athlete, if you want to sustain longer, you don't want injury, sleep is something you can't take for granted. It's if you are thinking, hey, I'm gonna manage by 5 hours sleep, it's going to catch up with you. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up with you. You will be burnt out, you will be injured. So I feel I want to hit the bed at 8:30, no matter how much Netflix amazing stuff is going on. I tell Ratan, you need to switch it off. Then maybe when I go to bed, maybe if I want to read something on Kindle or you listen music or just browse through something, 9 o'clock, like my eyes will start shutting down. And 9:30 is like I'm gone. And I'll wake up again in the morning. So that's how it has been. And I feel that for anybody, when this actually I read when I was trying to qualify for Boston, how athletes qualify for Boston. So it was more about that, and this was in 2016. And again, I had done my first full marathon. Please don't try it again at home, guys. But I was so bored of 21 kilometers. I wanted to do full. So I trained for 1 month and I ran the NDM 2016. Did a 3:57. And I was like, okay, this is good. Now I should train for Boston. And I was very clear. Again, I had meniscus tear. Yash was treating me at that time. And I did 3:35. I reached 3:37, 1.5 minutes below my cutoff time, so I couldn't qualify. But that's okay. But then during that, I think I wanted to know how people are qualifying for Boston, because Boston is like this amazing race where you want to qualify, and it needs hard work. And what I wanted to know was how working athletes are qualifying for Boston, because work was very crazy at that time, and I was not happy in a place where I was working. It was very frustrating, and we all have those moments in our lives.
Absolutely.
So somewhere there, I started reading, and I found that okay, you need to be disciplined. This is an ongoing process. You need to watch your food intake. You need to do so many other things. You need to practically live by the clock. Is when if you want to qualify for Boston in 6 months. And I'm like, okay. So some of that kind of started. And from there it's just been, now it's a routine.
So did that happen, Boston qualified?
So no, to Boston happened 2017 then. 2016 Berlin, I had a meniscus tear. So again, I was not training for 5 weeks. Yeah, I just didn't tell anyone. I didn't want to tell anyone. I was coaching myself, and I think we had that stadium run. I was doing that stadium run because a lot of injuries, a lot of runners suffered that. And I somewhere when I was doing the stadium run, I was loading my body too much. Like too much was going on, and the load and the food did not balance out. I feel now from where I am right now, and I look at. If now you want me to analyze that, I feel that my body was doing so much of work, but I was not supporting it, food or nutrition wise, and the muscles became weak. I needed good quality nutrition, and also more calories towards when I was peaking, and that's when my meniscus it didn't tear. Yash still never told me, but I think somewhere it just
we all learn.
Looking at your that look.
No. I mean, we tend to do that, right?
We do.
We get carried away with all that focus and on that performance. We need to do that, but there are so many things that you need to do alongside to make sure that your body is able to cope with all that.
Stress loads. Because again, you have to realize you are a working athlete. You are not a full-time athlete. So you need to focus on your recovery. We see, I know people talk about, hey, Mo Farah ran this, Lucy Hale is doing this. Okay, we should do that. Let's copy that workout. Let's start doing that. But do you see what is going in the background? How athletes are recovering? How much they are eating, how much focus is there on recovery than just training. It's just not about copying a training plan and doing it. A lot more has to be.
Absolutely. Great point. Because you are getting your workout done in the morning, 6 to 7 or 6 to 8, whatever, and you are starting to starting your job like 8 to 4 or 8 to 5, whatever. And then while the plan you are copying from the guy is resting the entire day so that he can work out in the evening. Right? So you got to realize
that. Thank you for saying that.
You got to realize
you have to realize that. So you only do give body to that much load that it can bear. Sometimes, like I am telling you, when I like a coach or a runner comes to me and asks for coaching and said, okay, hey, I have this goal. Okay, we'll do. I take a look at obviously how the previous performances are being. We evaluate on that basis. Okay, we can do this. But then somewhere during that training phase, the athlete is burning out. Then it's my job as the coach, or sometimes I need to pull back that or cut back the entire training. Let's not do full marathon. You're burning out, no point. Let's sign up go for a half, but something that you can manage right now with your current schedule. Maybe after 3 months, we'll see again. You're traveling so much, you can't devote time. Let's do something which is very realistic. Because for me, I'll tell you, my goal when I coach is I don't want my athletes injured or going through an injury phase or get stuck there. I want them to perform. The performance improvement has to go on and on and on. And that's what the concept, that's high. Because that's something I made mistakes and I don't want anybody to go through that. Of course, injury is going to be part of it, but
you got to manage them.
Got to manage them.
Great. So any tips to the working athletes? We have gone through a lot, but any party tips for working athletes?
I feel that realistic goals, having realistic goals is number one. Don't have unrealistic goals. Don't get carried away by what others are doing. Also trust in your process of, the training process. Don't be in a rush. I feel that that's so critical. Allow yourself time to build up, phase by phase. Don't think that, okay, hey, I have done 50 minutes of 10K. 2 months later, I'll do a 45 minutes 10K. It doesn't happen like that. And if you will try, even if you are trying to achieve that, you will subject your body to so much of pressure that you will, again, as we discussed, burn out, or you will get injured. Then again, what will happen is you will take 2 months of rest. Again, 50 minutes not happening, it will become 52 minutes. You are again taking a step down. Rather, have a gradual progress, focus on that, and be very mindful of your results, your goals. And don't, I would say, if you are focused and you want to see performance, don't do what randomly pick up everything into. Yeah. Have a plan in place.
Yeah, have a plan in place. Keep sustainability in mind.
Sustainability in mind, exactly. That you are here for a long term, not just this workout, not just a race that's happening in the next month, maybe next 2 weeks. You are here as an athlete, and you're going to be an athlete throughout your life now. That is so important to understand.
Awesome. Great chatting with you, Ankita. It's been a absolute blast. Thank you for all your inputs and great perspectives, and sharing your journey and your learnings with all the people on the Working Early podcast. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. It was absolute pleasure. Thank you.
All right, guys, subscribe to the channel wherever you are, either on YouTube, if it is Bikey Venky, on other podcasting channels, or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe and follow Ankita on her journey.
Yeah, and follow Bikey Venky too.
Thank you.